The following program is sponsored by John Chachis Insurance, your local farmers insurance agent located at 800 Avenue G in Ely, and brought to you as a public service by Ely TV, Channel 3-2 in Ely, Nevada. White Pine County Regional Transportation Commission meeting, May 23rd, 2013.
Okay, we'll call the Regional Transportation Commission meeting of May 23rd to order. Roll call.
Wayne.
Here.
Mike.
Here.
Robert.
Here.
Bill.
Here.
Rick.
Here.
EJ.
You're wrong.
George.
Here.
Randy.
Where Randy's at? I can see him. Public comment. Mr. George.
Yes, sir. Mr. Chairman, I'm coming before you with the same concerns. I've yet to receive a copy of your written policy requiring that request for information from the board be submitted via certified mail. We're going a year, 2 years. Is there a problem? Did your stationery stop? Do you need to buy some? Do I need to donate something to you?
That would be nice.
Then can I get an answer?
No. George, I'll answer that one here. I'll send you.
Mr. Chairman, I've yet to receive a list of RTC funds used with within the city of Ely for 2010, 2011. In particular was Avenue C and Avenue M. And again, I want to add 2012. It shouldn't be that hard for you to muster. Again, that request is over a year old. Mr. Chairman, curb and gutter was not put in on 7th Street and Orson Avenue. I told you that before. In previous RTC meetings, you stated that it was in the budget, yet it was never put in. What happened to that money? Again, you can't, meaning the RTC, cannot circumvent city codes. Is the curb and gutter going to be installed after the fact on those streets? I noticed you put curb and gutter, some sidewalk up on Winter Road. The people in Central Ely deserve the same consideration. Mr. Chairman, I brought up the concern regarding the narrowing of the street at the corner of Kempton, Copper Twin Gray Basin. You can address that. Again, I'm telling you it's supposed to be 55 foot wide according to the assessor's map. There was no public hearing regarding the street. I took a measurement. My measurements are not accurate, but they're far from coming close to the 55 foot wide. When I measured from the home, I think it was the old jail home, 27.5 feet from the center, or meaning from the retaining wall to the center, and then 17 feet from that center point west. Much too narrow. I've also asked in the past if the funding was in place to pave that portion of easement. I can't remember which 136 or 137 going to Mr. Tom Oxborough's place. We've been waiting since 1974 for paving, and you've given consideration to others. I want the same consideration given us. We've been there a long time. Also, Mr. Chairman, on last meeting, Mr. Stork said he did some research, took measurements confirming that there was nothing wrong with the existing right-of-way, referring to the Canton Street and Gray Basin intersection there at the Copper Queen. If you look at the recent repair done at Mr. Doug Terry's home, there was a water leak. That valve was pulled off the property and put on the property line. Mr. Stork is wrong. If I'm wrong, the maps will prove me wrong. But everything that I've gotten shows that that street is supposed to be 55 foot wide. If you don't do the proper hearings, someone is taking a city street and it appears a public official is doing it for their benefit. That needs to be addressed. Also, prior to putting in that curb and gutter at the Copper Queen, I observed Dean Day doing the survey. Commissioner Lennox said on more than one occasion, and I agree with him, Dean Day is not a qualified surveyor. We have a problem there that needs to be addressed. It's only getting worse. That's all I have at this time, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, discussion action approval award the bid for the Center Street project.
We received one bid, the Center Street project. There was two bid packets that were actually picked up. One was out of a paving company. I don't recall the name, out of the Reno area, but we did not receive a bid back from there. We came back from when we received these bids from Terry. We had it was a great price. It was less than what we were anticipating, and so at this time, their bid was for $408,250. I believe we had budgeted through various scenarios through the project. Was it $587,750? Is that the number?
It's going to be, going back to that, it's going to be $531,075.
Okay.
The budgeted amount also included,
Public transit funds.
it included the engineering design and project inspection oversight of $56,700. So you take the $431,075 less this bid, it's like $122,825 under budget.
Yeah, so we're substantially under budget, and so Rick did come in, and there's some other options that he said, hey, we've got some additional monies here. Can we look at repairing some of these other little connections that we're kind of getting overlooked, trying to keep the budget down and affordable. One thing I want to bring up the front there was sidewalk. We had sidewalk during the design process of this. All of our little transitions and connections got a little longer than what we had anticipated based on our initial estimates. So when we were through the design, some of the square footage of asphalt, the footage of curb and gutter got a little bit longer. So to save costs, to try to be able to proceed with this thing, we had put sidewalk on both sides of the road where there is existing sidewalk on both sides. And then our desire was to have a sidewalk all the way through the project at a minimum on the north side. But there was one section there between Orson and Stevens that there's nothing basically in there. There was no curb and gutter, there was no sidewalk. So as to save some costs, we had kind of eliminated that from being a part of this project in the plans at that point in time, with the anticipation that if we've got some additional funding left over, that we would come back in and create our true desire to have the sidewalk all the way through the project. So that's not in there right now. There's, based on the amount of money that was kind of left over, we looked at doing some additional paving layouts at Stevens, Bell, just some little interconnections that would come in here. So we don't have an official change order cost from them at this point in time. I don't feel that you can actually put that in your thing today. I think that if you guys so desire, said, hey, let's do this, I would come work with the contractor, get an official change order together, and then we can come back and get it officially approved. You know, we would like your concurrence today that, hey, I think that this is something that we can look at doing and proceeding with. Though, I mean, Stevens is, I have no problem standing here today in front of you telling Stevens that, that's new water stuff under there, so our infrastructure is fine under Stevens, because Stevens was a project that the city had completed, the prior year or two ago. So that's not a problem. That's an area where Stevens has got a pretty good road from that water project prior to. Now we have a small little connection that we would like to come back and make in here. That would clean up that whole block down there at the bottom end of Century EV. I'm 100% supportive of it. I think it would be a good addition if the funding is so. From Bell Avenue connecting over to 7th, which would be right behind the junction motor right there, there's a small, 600, 800-foot section of the roadway that was old, which would get us to, new paving across that section there. Again, I'm in support of that, but I want to go back and make sure that we don't pave over some existing city infrastructure that needs to be replaced and upgraded, so that we don't come next year fix the water leak in our new roadway. But I'm 100% supportive of all of these options. I think that we should, if you guys so desire for us to pursue those options, I would definitely work with the contractor, get a change order in place, and then come in and come back and get official approval of that change order. Because right now, this is not in our bid documents,
Right.
and so I don't know how we could come and actually approve it today because it's not a part of our bid documents. Our plans
How
are
long
set.
time frame are we looking at to get this? All these change orders ready for approval? But that's gonna take us in the next fiscal year to get the project finished.
Oh, it's going to be the next. This project was set up to roll in the next fiscal year, absolutely. And so, we're not trying to finish by June, or the end of June, or so it's actually going over there. The only other thing is I would like, Stevens is a little more critical area one, because Stevens is down in the bottoms. It's kind of existing material isn't the best. We'd like to mill it out, basically do the same as we're doing the rest of the roadway down there. The one up on Bell Avenue is a little less concern of mine. It's up on a hill. It's good material. I don't think that we need to go actually do the milling to take that out. I think we could go over excavate it, put in material, put in our type 2, we would be absolutely fine. It's good material. It's granular. It's not your fines that are down the bottom of the central elite area. And so Stevens is one that, if we proceed with, we would like to get this one done in a timely manner, or change order done in a timely manner, where when the contractor has the milling machine in town, he'll just be able to continue down that. That's a low-lying area that we'd be able to mill that stuff out, get it accomplished right now. The other one, we can work through them. It sits back over here like, hey, we want to accomplish this. But my biggest concern is I want to make sure that we get through the project. We don't run into any unforeseen change orders, that we got a storm drain or anything else in there that we need to replace, fix, that could burn up some of what at this point in time we're seeing is additional money sitting there. And so I think some of this should kind of sit as like a contingency in case we have any changes or something to go with it. But if things go great, we would like to come back in front of you and say, hey, we feel we're in good shape. We would like to proceed with this section here. It isn't going to be the last day of the project, but we got to get through the point where we get the stuff down, get milling, get our road opened up, where we're starting to build our base back up. Once we're at that point in time, we realize, well, hey, we're not going to run into these other little change orders. Then we can come back in here while they're still working their thing, get it approved, and get them to take care of it at that same time. But I don't feel I would be doing you guys a service if I come in here and said, hey, let's run with all of this right now, and then we had all of this in, we come in and run into some unforeseen circumstances and end up with a project that goes over budget, or we start having to take things out to finish it off.
So you look at maybe 2 weeks getting this, because our next meeting might not even be until the end of June. So.
Well, I think for the Stevens one, I think that we should proceed with the Stevens one. We'll go down, work with the contractor, get a change order. We can come back to you in 2 weeks with a Stevens change order. And so I would say yes, we would absolutely come back to you too with the Stevens. But the other change order, if we got a scheduled special meeting, that's what I would like to request that we can do.
If I was you guys, a couple weeks.
I mean, I would just feel a lot more comfortable. The contractor's rolling, things are looking good. We can come back in here and say, hey, things are great. I just hate to come in here today, hey, we have additional funding, and give 100% approval of that and then run into problems.
Well, we appreciate the caution. Things being safe, that's a good idea. So
No, I'm trying to be safe as we get through the project. And again, I apologize because it does add some additional burden on you guys going back here for a meeting or whatever, but I think that would be the best way to proceed with this thing. And I am 100% supportive of every one of these additional items that we're looking at doing, these other little paving things to go on with the project. They are great additions too, if we have the funding to do that. I'm 100% supportive of it.
Yeah, you get that and get it done at one time.
Wayne, did you guys get a copy of the estimate of what the extra work
No.
will cost to get done?
No.
I did have one printed off, I just didn't have to, no.
The additional bid you got from this one. I was out of town yesterday, so I grabbed my stuff off the desk this morning and ran down here.
Now, what was the total savings in the estimate versus the bid price?
$122,000.
We're well within that.
Yeah, we're well within there. You know, it's just, it's a good project, and if we come in and we run in, we got to replace some storm drain or something that, once we open it up, is damaged or
But
needs.
you should know that before you enter into this, right?
Yes, correct. You know, well, the Stevens one, I'm 100% comfortable to come back in immediately with a change order for that, because that's new infrastructure down there, as far as the city side. The other ones, very shortly into the project, we will be able to, you know, I can go back on the other one for the Bell Avenue, you know, today, this week, and look and see, hey, we don't have any infrastructure in here that's going to be of concern. We can add that in. So, ultimately, I would
What was
envision.
the total bid?
The total bid was $408,250.
Keep in mind, Mike, that there's roughly your estimated, PJ's estimated cost are roughly $57,000. So that's why numbers might not add up. For your engineers, not included in the flow.
Correct.
I'd like to move that we accept the bid as proposed. Initially, that'd be one motion. For $408,250.
Is there any way that you could possibly include that in your motion, that we will come back with change orders for that amount?
I'd like to do that in the second.
Okay.
Yeah, for the, yeah. So it's a Center Street project one. And the Bell and the other stuff can come back to us.
Yes, but just in the motion, if you come in here and said, hey, we have some additional options on here, if the funding is still available towards the end of the project, they will come back in with those change orders for those.
Yeah,
I think it'd be more appropriate to do the bid first and then
I'm
come back.
I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page, and hey, we would like to get these other things in.
yeah, because I mean, these aren't agendas.
Correct. They're not agenda, so I don't know that you can.
The Center, Steve project is, Center Street, excuse me. So yeah, come back and we'll approve this on a later date.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, and motion second to approve the bid of $408,250 to Beck Brothers.
Yes.
Okay. For discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
All right. All right.
Then you'll agenda this, because
Yeah, you could do
the
the
next
Yes,
meeting.
yes, we will get it agenda.
and anybody that will have.
Yeah, by then we'll get it agended, maybe we'll have all the stuff up and working, we can come and take care of it all.
Okay, discussion action approval of award bid for the iron and opal project.
You can have this out now, please. This one?
Okay, on this project, again, we only had one contractor bid on this. We had, this contract was small enough, we actually sent it out to concrete, thing. We had replies from all three of them that it went out to. They all said they were going to bid, and we were standing over there at bid opening and calling them, and then they were calling back in panic and said, oh my God, I missed it. How much time do I get? Well, it's over. I just wanted to make sure that they didn't drop it off at, a different, maybe the road department or a different department, but both contractors that I talked to that missed the bid were up in arms that they overlooked the deadline and missed it. So unfortunately,
Must not be hungry enough, huh?
apparently they're busy.
So what was your estimated cost of this?
I budgeted $30,000 for that.
Saving a lot of money to you, huh?
Change back. So if there's any motion to approve the opal iron intersection repair bid of $20,320 to Rec Brothers.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Robert,
I'll second it.
second by Michael. For discussion, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Discussion only 2013, 2014 RPC projects. Any update on that?
I can give you a little update. All of our crack sealing is completed. We're going to be doing some saw cuts in some of the alligator areas and get some coal mix down prior to them showing up. We're currently starting to do that now. We've done some shoulder work out on the Larson Road. We had a little bit to finish up. I wasn't too satisfied, so we did some shoulder work prior to the RTC projects, the slurry seal. I've spoke with Eric. He was on the road the other day to get that. He's got that state contract bid number, so I can get a price from Eric on our slurry seal. But I'm also going to contact a couple other slurry outfits to get comparables, and I'll move forward from there. So 2 weeks from now, we'll work to let you know what route we're going to take on the slurry seal.
Okay, 6. Georgetown Ranch road options for paving.
Yeah, I spoke with Justin Magna. He's been in a couple of times, and he's with Asphalt Systems Incorporated. Have a handout for you guys to take a look at. He provided us some of the work that's being done up in the shears out of Chalice, Idaho, up in Custer County. Right now, they're actually starting the project. Within the next week or two, they're going to start laying the material down and paving. I plan on sending two of my guys. I've spoke with BJ. If he's got the time, we're going to try to get up to Idaho and meet with these people. This is something new that they're trying. Like I said before, they've done it in Yellowstone and a lot of country roads, country settings up in Idaho. They got a lot of farmland up there. And the cost savings on this is where they show this at they paved 2 miles, 22 feet wide with a 3-inch overlay for just under $160,000. Where we're talking in Georgetown, it's about 1 mile. So anyway, I'm looking at different avenues to come in and see how this product's going to hold up for the type of use we're using it. Those farm roads are pretty similar. You got heavy farm equipment, but you got a lot of smaller traffic that travels these roads. So just take a look at some different avenues of what we can do with that road in the future.
So they kind of concur that it's suitable to do this, huh? Grind it and
Yeah, you grind it over the pavement. If you do it in the yard, and, they don't try to really do it right on scene. You can do it on scene, but if you look, they dump, they spend 4 days just blending the oils in with the material. They mix 31.5 tons of oil, which figures out to about 8,500 gallons a day. So that would be about half of what we'll be looking at. But that depends on our types of soil as well. So yes, we can go in there and grind that dirt road up. We can add, like I said, I've got some crushed 1-inch minus that we can incorporate. We can incorporate some clays, but we need to do kind of a soil analysis prior to it. That's another step we need to do if this is the avenue we're going to take. So we're doing a little bit of work on it. Mike, if you'd like, you could jump in the truck and go Idaho with the boys too.
But I don't know if you guys do fishing. I might take you up on it. And when we get some ideas and cost estimates on this, that'd be really good. Particularly if we could use that, utilize the material we have and get the road done. But the other thing I was thinking, and maybe BJ would know, we're going to have, even if you did this road, you're going to do that crossing in the slough there, where all that. I was wondering if it wouldn't be a good idea, regardless of whatever we do, to go in there and try to create some drainage and put that drainage in this, there's a couple of culverts there, and I just wondering if it'd be feasible to get in there and create some drainage and start dewatering that road a little bit, because it is, I think you're going to find out it's going to be a little bit spongy, and you're going to have to work on it a little bit, maybe to widen it, or maybe an additional culvert, but I think it'd be a good idea to look at that, particularly if we do the road. It'd be awfully nice that maybe if we strengthen that basin, might be, I don't know.
Yeah, you're definitely down on the bottom, So
Yeah.
it's worth looking into, see, make sure.
And then
You're at with the gravel, any little, let's say, movement, whatever, you don't notice it. As soon as you put a pavement over it, you get any flex, you're gonna get cracks.
I think you could get above it a little bit and really create some drainage to where it might, put it in tight to a couple of ditches there or something.
You would have to get, like you say, get off the right of way, get permission to get off the right of way.
That's the city problem.
Right, and get some ditches in there, maybe some, to keep that water, when it crosses in
It crosses at the crossing.
at the crossing, and not
Not
sitting
running down the bar.
Well, it comes in, then it runs down the road.
Right, subs under.
And it's really not good drainage there. You could create some good drainage.
So, with that
Yeah,
too.
it is.
Another thing I mentioned to BJ, and I just shot it off a satellite, but when you get up by Hanson's, where that turn is, where we got the problem all the time, you're pulling an 8 to 9 foot grade from around that small corner. It pulls quite a ways. When right as you start turning, now that vehicle's weight shifts, and that's why it's, if we can raise that up so we don't have such a pull, we can stretch that out and raise that up, we might, that's going to probably help us a little bit too. And I mentioned that to BJ, we'll go out and take a look at that as well.
Well, I think the city owns all that, even their Hanson, don't they? You're talking the hill.
Yeah, where you come from the radio station around the corner of
Yeah.
the railroad tracks there, just below your place.
Oh, okay.
That last turn there, right by the railroad tracks
Yeah.
at Hanson's.
Oh, that could be Hanson's private property.
No, it's on the road.
It-
Yeah, I'm
oh,
talking
on
On the road, right
On
there's
the
the
road.
turns around.
If you're from the radio station,
Oh,
and you
okay.
come around the bend to the railroad tracks, that's
Okay.
about 9 feet.
Alright.
It's quite a bit of elevation, and you
Yeah.
take that elevation climbs in the corner. If we can start the elevation climb back towards the radio station, start climbing it there, so when you get to the corner, we're only pulling 3 or 4 feet instead of trying to pull 9 in the corner.
So I can also see on that road, that right there at the intersection, call it the golf course road, or where that intersects the golf course road, you're gonna have a drainage problem there.
We do, it's another one we got to address.
It's gonna, don't know, you're gonna have to maybe do some heavy ditching to the north, or
We'll just shoot it across the street to the east.
we've got enough weeds on it.
Yeah, we gotta do something.
It'd be all